Well, hello there, ladies and gents. I'm Tammy Sapnewski, your crypto queen. Thank you so much for popping by my channel. Okay, guys, we are going to be going live for the AMA that's going to be held on Telegram for Pixel. As you may know, last week we had the devs from Pixel on for an AMA on the Crypto Queen channel, and they did a good job. They laid out the roadmap for where they're taking this token. During that AMA, somebody had actually sent me a message saying, hey, this is a honeypot, according to Token Sniffer. And I was like, well, I know it can't be a honeypot because I know people that have sold the token. So I don't think it can be a honeypot. But I guess if you run out of liquidity at some point, then it is a honeypot. Anyway, let's join their AMA. So I am in here. Access. Okay, let's do it.
So, hi everyone. I want to thank you for joining. My name is TMG.
Let me know if you can hear
I'm
it.
normally not on, as I prefer to be in the background and doing my thing. Drew, no, we cannot hear you. Are you? I'm sorry, guys. A moment. Drew, I don't see that you're muted, but I'll let you figure that out because I don't want to hold folks up. I know people's time is valuable.
Can you hear the
Like I was
audio,
saying,
Moonforce?
I wanted to open this call up for everyone for this community chat, which we do love to have. Again, my name is Tangi. I'm Chief Operations Officer for Pixel,
Can you guys
and
let me
I'm
know if you can
generally in the
hear?
background doing things because I prefer to be there as where I can get my work done. And I think the co-founders do a mighty fine job presenting Pixel to the masses. Again, we know that your time is valuable, and we appreciate you taking out the time to join us today. There's a lot to talk about, a lot to cover, and that's why we want to make sure that we had this call today. um, and I'm not going to hold you very long. I just want to kind of say my little 10 piece and 2 piece and let them listen to me 10 piece 2 piece and let the co-founders have it. But as you know, Pixel is a budding company. We are a startup, and many of us have our own lives and our own jobs, and we've decided to come together, as you know, to build Pixel and bring products to the marketplace and to the crypto space. Many of you've been with us from the very beginning, and we absolutely appreciate that, and we know who you are, not as in individually, but by contract. We know who you are, and we always want to keep a pulse and keep an eye on who those folks are who have decided to partner with us at this time,
They got to do some
because
fast
it's
talking
through
here.
these
People are
times
pissed.
when things aren't the way that we would have expected, when things aren't, you know, going off like some of these other great projects, where we're just in the space where we're, you know, trying from day to day to make accomplishments with our project, that you stick with us, and it's greatly appreciated. One thing about Pixel, and I'm sure that I can speak confidently on behalf of our co-founders and our chief developer, that we take care of those who support us the best that we can, and we don't forget. Also, to the point that, you know, we have a snapshot of all of those contracts, all of you who have partnered with us, so that when things get better, and they will, we're going to look out for you.
She's telling people
Pixel
not to sell.
is
Don't freak
not
out. We'll take care of
not
you.
a sprint. It is a marathon. If y'all remember when I first came out,
She
it was the
reps this
first thing that I
good.
said. Pixel is not a meme. We are a business, and we are putting out products, which is what we lean on and will lean on for the return on your investment in our own. Um, there's been some changes. The bosses will go through that. Um, and we have to do that so that we're strategically aligned. They will go into that. Some people, have some questions about it, have some concerns, and rightfully so. You put your money into this, you want to know what's going on, and that's why we strive to be as transparent and open as possible and give this opportunity
Sandstorm's
for
like,
us
they
to
better
speak.
do some fast talking
Me
after what they
personally,
did with the liquidity pool. She's doing a good job, though.
I'm not really much connected on
She
social
sounds
media
nervous a little
very
bit.
much. Between my day job and what I have to do with Pixel, I'm usually spending anywhere from 12 to 14 hours a day. But that's because I believe in it so much. And I tend to protect my energy. Um, everyone has an opinion. Everyone has a way that they convey how they feel about things, and that's perfectly fine, and that's good. That's healthy. But I also reserve the right to protect my energy because I always want to give you my best, and I can't give my best if my energy isn't in the right place. So I would hope that, if you happen to see anything that isn't so pleasing to the ear, just know that over here, many times in the midnight hour, the folks here at Pixel, we're up talking, we're emailing, we're strategizing. We have big dreams for this. I know I have a lot resting on this, and we'll let the product show for itself. And finally, the last thing that I'll say is one of the lessons that I've learned and that I taught to my daughter and that I share with others that I partner with clients is that in times like this, it's not what they say about you, it's what you answer to. With that,
she's giving a pep rally,
I'll
but we
close
want
out.
answers, right?
Thank you. Be blessed. And Hung and Andrew, floor is yours.
See, we want answers from these guys. She
Thank
did
you,
a good
Sanji,
job
for
talking up the project.
giving us the opportunity to kind of warming up the audience and let everybody understand our position too as well. I just want to set the tone for this meeting we have here with our investors, as Andrew's kind of set up the background so that everybody can see what's going to go happen. Through this meeting, we're talking to a couple of topics that is going to brought to our attention. First off, we have some news about our staking. The availability of our staking will be available, and then we're definitely going to talk about some more time frame that we have for certain products that are coming out. Those time frames are, as you can see, is going to be displayed now too as well. Those time frames is what we are upholding to make sure that we're able to launch by that time, so then we can kind of create some more revenue too as well. And the main topic that we all here in the chat too as well, we will be addressing the liquidity pool as our game plan of how to attack that situation too as well, and what our team have found in the background. From there, we'll go ahead and move on to pretty much asking you guys and requesting you guys certain things that we want to keep the community engaged on too as well. As we love the community to be able to give us feedbacks and give us data for us to drive.
Listen, I hope their plan is to not do NFTs because no one's going to buy them.
As well, for us to explore and see where we can venture onto. We need some of your help to do that to some of the times that we're running through. And from there, we'll open the floor for a couple questions, just to see if we can address any major concerns directly now that you have our attention.
Questions, you need to talk about the liquidity first.
It's not going to be a full AMA since there is still more work to be done, and it'll be a lot more moving parts leading up to August 31st too as well. We definitely want to plan more times to have the full live AMA too as well. But certain right now, there's certain urgencies that make sure that needs our attention so that we can expand. And we want to give you guys the opportunity to have some of our attention too as well. So that's why we are calling for this meeting. To first start off, I'll pass the floor back on to Andrew.
Hey everybody, can you hear me?
We can. I don't know if you were recording or not. I wasn't, but I'm starting now. I just realized that.
Yeah, it's recording. So yeah, my TG was acting up, but thank you guys for coming on to this call so we can discuss how we're moving forward and also our plans as well. As you can see, you see that merch and the NFT marketplace. We have some details posted up on onto the screen.
They got no
But
money.
the most
The money's
important
gone.
aspect
It sounds
is
like.
the LP. So, we for the last week and a half, we were digging in and seeing, our LP was basically being drained from sales, and there's no other way to put it. I mean, we can show you guys the links and see that our LP was just slowly getting pulled out from sales and having no buys. So it was no way for us to counter it. So it was just a recipe for disasters, especially during those bad market times. And things like that happen, and it's not going to let us stop us, and we're going to continue. And as you can see, that we are dedicated not just to the platforms but to the token as well. Looking to inject our profits coming from our platforms into the LP, so we get a stabilized LP and have that token up and running with no issues and no problems. So with NFT Marketplace, we're looking to inject 30% of all profits into the LP.
No one's going to buy the NFTs,
All
though.
proceedings from merch will be injected into the LP
Who's
as
going to
well.
buy Pixul merch?
And our Pixul protocol will not only have staking and farming for our token, but it's going to have the capabilities in the next month or so to allow other projects to create their own pools. And those pools will allow us to gain fees, and those fees will be going into our LP as well. And like what Tangi mentioned, we did take a snapshot. We also included whitelist public pre-sale investors, and we're looking to reward you guys down the line because you guys are holding during this period. I know, unfortunately, there is no way to sell, and because of the LP, and once the LP starts generating, that possibility will become more fruition. But regardless, we do appreciate you guys believing us from the beginning, investing into the whitelist and public pre-sale, and at launch as well.
Which was
so
me.
We do want to reward you guys regardless down the line. And then moving on to the NFT Marketplace, that's been in the works for the longest at this moment, and that's one of our first products that we're pushing out. And we're so excited to say that August 31st will be the launch date for our NFT Marketplace. And we're launching with unique collections from artists, projects, influencers, and more, with a full marketing plan, and launching with the chains that we did announce, which is Ethereum, BNB, Phantom, and Chronos.
Okay, well, maybe they'll sell other people's NFTs.
I know a lot of people are very worried about the LP.
Not their NFTs,
and that's our goal, is to get the LP stabilized so the token can be utilized not just for trading, but throughout our platforms as well.
I mean, regardless, it's bad that they're
We are also looking to partner up with other projects to make sure that we can increase volume and create different tokenomics onto our NFT marketplace too as well. Few of the things that we are doing, as you can see on the board already, is really providing our injection into the LP and making sure that people are able to day trade like our original goal to as well. Would that affect any of the R&D that we are doing moving forward? That would not affect any of the R&D because we have already budgeted out certain budgets for the R&D of the project. As we push forward, as we continue to grow in mass and kind of reach out to new communities, we're looking to allocate certain things around too as well. This LP injection has a target goal for us to make sure that the community will be stable on that through the hard work of James in the background, or one of our marketing teams in the back, as well as exploring other options too as well. But the direct thing for us to do right now is provide some of the profits that we are going to accumulate back into the LP, so everybody will have the ability to kind of trade around with our token. From there being on, this is the part where we ask the community too, is helping us reach out to other communities and partner up as well. I'm pretty sure you guys are not only looking at us, but also looking at other projects out there. And if you see any project that you believe that is beneficial for us to reach out, this is a great opportunity for bringing it to our attention. As all we know, a lot of companies grow through partnership too as well. Not only just becoming themselves and stuck in their own cave, but being out there to reach out and interject. We are working hard in the background. We have a couple partnerships that we are looking to solidify and push forward and have an amazing launch with our NFT market and continue to push more of legitimacy on that end too as well. And that and for us to wrap up what we have said so far, we're attacking the ability to go ahead and stake based on tomorrow. The individual have been with us have been asking when is staking available, and we're all being able to launch that tomorrow as well. Our LP issues, how we are planning to attack our LP issues right there is right on the screen. There has not been any hack, or we have not rugged the project, or the project have not stopped. It just comes down to the very basic understanding that the LP has been drained, and then we are going ahead and trying our best to fight that by LP injections. And here's the new time frame line where you can expect the NFT marketplace to be launched well within our 90 days time period that we're projected in the very beginning. And at the end of we were asking the community to help us reach out to other communities who need certain things to help us. As one of the first things that we let everybody know is everything has been built in-house. And for us to be built in-house, we hold this master source code for everything and the knowledge of how to build it too as well. If you see an up-and-coming project that we understand where they came from too, not having the ability to kind of raise the funds they need to push the project out, but there's some legitimacy in the part of the project, we love to help out. One of the biggest thing in the crypto community is we look out for each other, and regulations can only start with us too as well. So if you see in this project, please shoot it our way. We definitely look out. That's where we build more different partnerships too as well. And then we can provide some of the services to them too as well. And then kind of ride this winter with one another. And to wrap things up, we have made some staff changes too as well. The staff changes was made to as needed to be part of the visions of with Pixul too as well. The staff changes was being part where we were able to keep the project up and running, and I made a community announcements about that. And we continue to push forward with that too as well. So you can follow our Twitter about my comment on that. And we wish them well on their ventures out there too. But that would not stop us from continue moving forward. Actually, we continuously try to bring forward, and people who have the same vision as ours are being able to jump back onto our project, and we love that. With that being said, don't want to keep everybody on too long, so this won't be a full live AMA. But if anyone have any questions, I'll put it onto the floor of this time. Go ahead and raise your hand in your chat. If not, we would be wrapping this up at 7:20. If no one have any questions, or in the next 30 seconds. Andrew, do you have anything else you want to add, or anyone else in the team?
Yeah, if you guys don't want to ask a question on the voice chat, you can also ask the question onto the main chat as well. So we can go ahead and answer those questions as well.
I don't see that anybody's raising their hand. I mean, what's to ask at this point? We want to be able to sell our tokens, and we can't. Now, I know they said it's not a rug, and technically it's not, but if people want to sell their tokens and get out and they can't, it is a honeypot until they get liquidity in there. Like, dude, you're going to have to probably take a mortgage out on your house to get liquidity in there. What's to ask? Sandstorm jumped on there. Well, he asked a question. Sandstorm.
Trading is not halted. I mean, we didn't halt no trading or anything like that. So it's just because the LP is sitting at around like $200. It's just unable to sell if it's over $200. And if I'm not mistaken, you are still able to buy it. We have not halted any trading.
If you can't sell, then
technically, trading not just from the marketplace, but from other sources as well.
I wish Sandstorm would ask a question, because he's on the voice chat too on Telegram. I see him in there. I see everybody that's in there. Nobody has their hands up. Nobody's going to ask any questions, because what do What
Are
do
you
you?
guys raising your hands or they keep disappearing?
Willie wants to speak. Sandstorm wants to speak. Go. Sandstorm's got his hand up. Sandstorm coming in.
How you doing, George?
Okay, he didn't call on him yet. He's called on George.
Hey, you guys hear me?
We're all George.
Yes.
Hey, what's the story with Uniswap?
What do you mean exactly?
I don't know what's going on. We could barely hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Okay,
Hey,
yeah, we can hear you.
hey, yeah, can you hear me, George?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. So what were you saying about
Thank you,
Uniswap?
Khalid. Appreciate that.
No, I was just noticing that no number is coming up on Uniswap for some reason.
Well, Uniswap is where we have our LP. So if there is not much in LP, it's throwing off the numbers because of the LP issues. So that's where that issue is coming in play. So once the liquidity is back at
He's
a
fine. He's just flirting.
stabilized number, that issue will go away.
Yes, and we also will be reaching out to Uniswap too as well, see if we can get in contact with their team to see if it's just what we suspect it is, or is there an underlying thing with their system. But that is currently in the process to just kind of figure out what exactly is happening to get some more confirmation.
Sandstorm's got his hand up. I wonder if they call on him. I mean, if he's an
Okay, thank you.
investor, they should call on him.
No problem.
You don't even know what I had to do to get the iPad hooked up to my audio mixer so that I could run it into my computer for StreamYards. It was a nightmare. I had to find a cable in a pinch.
Okay. I think we have one more time, just enough time for one more question. So I'm going to unmute you, Willie R. And then this will be our final questions as we continue to keep pushing forward. Willie, what is your
Boot
question?
chisel? Is that like BS? Is that what you mean, Dankstar? Who buys this? Boot chisel? Is it boot chisel? So Sandstorm definitely has his hand raised. He wants to ask a question, and it seems like they're dodging him. It seems like they're not asking him anything. Let me see if there's anybody else. Oh, should I keep hitting that? I don't think there's anybody else that has their.
All right, it seems like Willie's.
Sandstorm, I believe, raised his hand as well.
Okay,
So
they're
we're
going to call on
ahead.
Sandstorm.
Willie, we're going to go ahead and mute you and unmute Sandstorm. Hey, how you doing?
What's up, guys? Thanks for taking my question real quick. So when you guys set this thing up with the tax structure, you had 0% buy and 0% sell, right?
That's correct, yes.
So when you did that, you knew that you were going to have to manually inject liquidity from time to time because you didn't set up any kind of tax structure to feed the liquidity pool, right?
No, not essentially. Well, Uniswap actually, through their fees, they inject the liquidity itself. But because there was barely any volume and more sales than buys, it just pretty much drained the liquidity. So people were able to sell and pull from the LP, but since we weren't having any buys to counter that.
Right, but the low volume, the very low percentage that you get from Uniswap is not enough to keep the liquidity alive. So basically my question is, are you going to fix the tax structure once you inject liquidity so that there's an automatic liquidity feed, or are you still going to leave it at 0-0 because you're going to run into this problem again unless you continuously manually inject liquidity, especially during the bear market that we're currently in?
Yeah, that's understandable. You know, that those are options that we have looked into as well. And you know, we don't want to say what would be the next decision until it's solidified, but that is a great point, and we have discussed that between the team. So we're looking at different options, and we're looking at other ways to help create the LP down the line. Like you mentioned with Uniswap at 0.3%, it is very minimal unless you have a very high volume token. But we can also look at different options as well. So you did bring up a good point.
yeah, I would definitely recommend fixing the tax structure to, even if it's something small like 2%, 2%, where it feeds the liquidity, that would help you, especially during right now, because you don't have much volume, and really nobody does. There's only the big tokens that have a
See,
lot of volume. Everything small, especially that's recently launched in a bear market, has very low volume. You can't rely on a 0.3% from a Uniswap
now,
transaction fee. And then, so when are you planning on injecting the liquidity? Because I see your timetable here. You're talking about July 15th. You're going to feed the merch stuff in. At the end of August, the NFT is going to feed the liquidity in.
They don't
Is
have
there
money to do
any
it,
money
probably.
that's going to be injected in the liquidity before those funds are raised?
now there really is no need for us to build a tax structure here for the token. The purpose of the tax structures that you see today are purely a fabrication of the current crypto ecosystem, where 95% of the cryptos that you see today have no uses. There are no utility, as people say. There's nothing for you to use them for. They will never be accepted as a service or a currency, even. They're more crypto assets. We're building a cryptocurrency. Our focus
Okay,
is not exit
you're coming.
liquidity.
You're
Our
coming in to try to
focus.
make me sound really stupid when I just had a very good conversation
Oh
with
no,
the other
very
guy.
much. I
You
understand your
you
reasoning.
have you have to inject liquidity manually if you don't have it set up in your taxes. That is not anything hard to understand. So you
No,
should
it's
have
not
been setting
complicated
funds
now. A tax
exactly. So you should
structure
have been setting
itself
funds.
is
So you
not
should
what
have
we
been
need.
setting funds
That
to
is
the
not
side
going to solve
for
the issue.
manual injections.
Yes. Okay. Again, we're a new project, right? And as we've already mentioned, that at the launch, there was a lot of sell pressure from early investors wanting to get their money in. Any project is susceptible to that, even projects with tax structures. If we had a tax, it would have just prolonged what happened by maybe a week. It's not going to be a solution. Our solution is that we're building a protocol, a point of sale system, and an NFT marketplace. Those things will automatically inject into the liquidity pool as a service. It won't be on every buy and sell like these meme tokens and projects that you see. We're building an entire ecosystem. So, yes, I agree that we are going to have to manually inject liquidity. We are going to do that
They probably just
by
don't have
manually
the money
injecting
to
it
do it.
automatically using our products instead of being centralized and having one of us inject the pool itself, which leaves us susceptible to things like happened with SafeMoon, where liquidity was removed instead of injected. Our products themselves are going to be the manual liquidity injection that you speak of.
So yeah, I mean, moving forward, like Vestas mentioned, our products will help inject with LP, and we are looking at all options, and keep in mind, if you notice from the beginning, we take everybody's input into consideration, and we have always listened to the community. So we don't like to not take the ideas that you guys present to us and not run with it. We have definitely take different aspects of what the community has presented to us and ran with it. So
You're right, CFG. The minute
Yes, with that being
people
said,
get the hell out of
as
there.
we are able to kind of attack the situation and come up with a game plan, really talks into our characteristic of how to deal with certain scenarios like this. I hope it builds some more trust in the community to let them understand that we are taking this very seriously, as well, giving you guys the opportunity to see how we deal with situation like this moving forward too as well. This is only a temporary uh, solutions that we provide, but we are open towards more other solutions too as well. At one point, I do hear that you guys have to manually put this onto the liquidity, and that does not just seem like truthful because it will be able to create the volume. So not just at this low volume the whole time, but once we increase the volume, it should be stabilized as well. That was the aspect that we all understand to make sure that we're able to boost it back up. In case if not, it will just be a running circle too as well. Then again, I will go ahead and close this call since we have asked a little more time than we have asked for the community. And we just want to thank everybody for giving us the opportunity to speak upon this and giving you our plan of attack to move forward too as well.
They're just bailing
with
out
that
half
being
an hour
said,
and they're done.
I want to sign out as Pixul co-founder. This is Hung Nguyen signing out, and hopefully everybody have a good night. Enjoy. Those who are in America, enjoy. Your happy 4th of July. It'll be a great day, and be safe, everybody. If have any last word from the team, this will be a time. If not, the call will be ending.
I'll just say thanks to everyone. And if you have any want to reach out to us, please feel free to send us a direct message or an email.
Yeah, I want to appreciate everybody coming on and listen to us. And like we always said, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask in the chat. And when we're available, we'll answer them right away. I appreciate everybody coming on. You guys have a good night and happy 4th of July. And let's just keep moving forward and strive for greatness.
Khalid,
appreciate everybody.
Are you on
you guys have a good night.
Ethereum or Binance?
Good night.
Okay, so that was the AMA. Let me unhook this. Let me turn this off. That was the AMA that was done by Pixul over on Telegram. And that was the first time I streamed a Telegram thing through StreamYards because you can't share the screen and get it. I had to drive the audio through my iPad. So a couple of things. They were on my channel last week for an AMA. Somebody brought up the fact that they were registering as a honeypot on Token Sniffer. And I'm like, why does it say you guys are a honeypot? Now, a couple of days before, I was supposed to be in touch with a friend who knew something, but I've been crazy busy and it completely slipped my mind to call this guy. So I don't want to say who it is because this is going to be, who knows who's going to watch this. And that's probably what my friend was going to tell me, that they're running out of liquidity. So when I brought this up to them on the AMA, they said that they had to get in touch with Token Sniffer, that they somehow misread the contract, something happened. In fact, they're not a honeypot. But I guess if your liquidity pool gets so low that people can't sell outstanding tokens, it's probably going to register as a honeypot. So Token Sniffer did get that one right. So yeah, so let's talk about what happened to Sandstorm. You did a great job, man. We all just sat here and listened to you. That was awesome. You did an amazing job. Sandstorm is saying, no, this is a gentleman that just spoke on the AMA. What a joke. They muted me. Don't like the actual facts. So Sandstorm wasn't done asking questions, but they muted him to make it sound like he had no further questions or input. And everything that Sandstorm said was legitimate. He brought up good facts. Like Sandstorm said, the very first guy, which I believe is Hung, he took it very well. He's like, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe this is something that we should address and consider. Andrew didn't like that response from Hung. Came on. It seemed like he gave you a little bit of an attitude, Sandstorm. I felt a little bit of tension in his voice. Like he definitely was tense. So there you go. Now, when I bought into the pre-sale of Pixul, this was months ago, and Ethereum was significantly more, right? So Ethereum was closer to 3,000 compared to where it is now. Their pre-sale went on and on and on. It seems like it's been months and months and months since I sent them Ethereum. Sandstorm says there's no time frame to even inject liquidity. Right, so like I'm like, they have got to put the liquidity in themselves. So I understand they're waiting on their NFT platform and their merch store. But listen, who knows when that's going to start to generate income where you could actually inject it. We're talking, you might have to take a loan out on your house You might have to get a second mortgage. You might have to sell your car, whatever you have to do to get money into the liquidity pool. But that brings me back to the fact that they had this pre-sale going on forever and ever. And initially they wanted to raise, Sandstorm, just let me know if I'm wrong on this. I think they wanted to raise over 1,000 Ethereum to get started, because on their roadmap, they had a clear timetable, which was like 2 to 3 years for this thing really to be completed and up and running and generating some income. It was a long, long time. Like, anybody that invested in this knew it was going to be a long time till this thing got up and running. Finally, we had the launch. Now, don't forget, if you invested half an Ethereum or 1 Ethereum, your $3,000 investment on day of launch has automatically depreciated by 2/3, because now your $3,000 Ethereum is now only $1,000 worth of the token, right? It's the liquidity pool is in Ether. So they had a lot of people working on their staff. I think that they probably blew a majority of their budget paying this team. So let's look at the different people that were on the team. And of course, Andrew is the one that just got a little testy with Sandstorm. Hung, he was the other guy that was, I felt like Hung was receptive to you, Sandstorm, basically. Andrew was not appreciating you. Hung, I felt like, was receptive. Sandstorm says this token is done as soon as liquidity is finally injected. Watch the sells. I agree. I think you're probably right. I think, it's just a bridge too far to get testy with someone. Now, Sandstorm, I don't know if you are an investor. I'm an investor. I don't know who investor. I don't know. But I think it's a problem. So they probably spent their money paying all of these people. Like, this is for a token that has a roadmap of, okay, this is going to take a few years to get up and running. And, that's a lot of people to have on the payroll. On the AMA, Hung and Andrew told me that they're not taking money out of the project. They go to work at their day job. They come home and they work on Pixul. Basically, they have 2 full-time jobs. One they're not getting paid for. They're all in when it comes to Pixul. So they probably didn't even. Now, I don't know. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows what goes on? But they're not taking money. They probably paid everybody else, right? So we know someone. His wife is Mrs. NFT Queen. His screen name is not that guy or that guy, depending on which social media platform you're on. And he was doing what was called outreach for them. Outreach. And last week they told me, because I saw his picture on the website, but you never see him on Twitter. You would think people that are doing outreach would be actively engaging the community, wanting to bring investors in, at least tweeting a couple of days about Pixul. This guy never tweeted about Pixul ever at all. As a matter of fact, he's more into the game of slandering people and, ganging up on people with one person in particular. Just like not nice stuff. Not somebody that if I had a token, I would hire to represent my project. It's just not a good look, I think. As of last week, he was still gainfully employed by Pixul. Still there, still getting paid. This morning, I see a tweet. Well, actually, I think it was yesterday when Pixul had announced that there was going to be an AMA, that there was a problem with the liquidity pool. He sends out a tweet saying, I am not involved with this project. Done. He didn't say, hey, I have formally resigned from Pixul regarding whatever. No, he's just, I'm not involved. But he had been involved this whole entire time. So, like, if he's the outreach person, like he's the guy that's supposed to be doing the marketing, and he never really marketed, it's like, did he earn what I don't know what he got paid, but once again, I'll say, I saw him tweet a couple of times about Pixul way in the very beginning. I haven't seen this dude tweet about Pixul ever at all, right? sometimes people work for a project and they're collecting money and they're just doesn't seem like they're putting that much effort into it. So I don't know. Like, what do you think about that? Like, is that fair that he collected a paycheck from them and the minute they hit a bump in the road, he's like, I'm out, after he probably he probably got a paycheck like every single week. I mean, look, and listen, I don't know what that dude's story is. I don't know what that guy's deal is, but he used to come on the channel. He was, fine. I had his wife on the channel to talk about NFTs. And one day, all of a sudden, he just was no longer nice to me. And I was like, that's strange. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care. But so he's no longer with Pixel. He bounced. He bounced. And that was that. But Sandstorm did raise really. Okay. Terry, tell me. When did you officially leave Pixel? Because I had them on for an AMA last week, right? As of last week, they said, because your picture was up there on the website. And I was like, is Terry still working there? And he said, yes. When did you officially leave Pixel? And what exactly did you do? It said, I think on the website, it said outreach. Like, were you marketing or what exactly did you do over there? Just curious. And of course, I'm sure you listened to the AMA over there on Telegram that their liquidity pool is drained, Probably one of the big reasons why when everybody bought into the pre-sale, like I did, I bought into the pre-sale, Ethereum was like almost $3,000 in Ether, right? And now they launched the token in a bear market and it's worth like 1/3 of what it was. That's a problem. Now it seems they got like a lot of people. What's up, Maddie? Welcome to the show. Ooh, that guy's saying he never got paid shit. Well, Terry, that's why I'm asking you. He's saying he didn't get paid shit. They didn't pay you in tokens or anything? They didn't pay you at all? Terry, why would you agree to do that? Was it just a friendly thing with Tangi? Or let's see what Terry says. Do you know how many people are paid over there at Pixel? He never got paid anything. Never got paid tokens. Never got paid anything. I didn't agree. I didn't. Oh, so they owe you money. Do you know if anybody else was getting paid over there at Pixel? I mean, that would suck, right? If you go to work for some place and you're supposed to get paid and then they don't pay, and now they're out of liquidity. So like, he's never going to get paid. He's never going to get paid. I agreed to get paid and my contract said I was getting paid and they breached the contract by sending me a termination contract. Ooh. Okay. I agreed to get paid and my contract said I was getting paid and they breached the contract by sending me a termination contract. So did you quit or did they fire you? Did you get fired by them? They got paid by the liquidity, sure, but I didn't. Well, that sucks. And, normally when did they say when they were going to pay you? Like, were you supposed to be paid on a weekly basis or bi-weekly? Or, I mean, because now, when did they launch? Did they launch like June 3rd? It's like, it's been over a month, right? Since they've been launched. Were you gainfully employed by them prior to the launch? I believe you were. I think you were employed by them prior to the launch, like sometime, I don't know if it was when the pre-sale had started, but I remember when you had made the announcement that you were doing outreach for Pixel. Terry saying, I called them out about payment and they send me a termination contract 2 weeks after launch. So you've been gone for like 2 weeks then. 2 weeks, I got a termination contract. So then when they came on my AMA, see, this is another thing. Like, what do you do when devs come onto your show and lie? It's like, I got to hook these people up to a lie detector test over here, right? Like the devs from Coyote Coin, those bastards. So Terry's saying it's been 2 freaking weeks. Now, I had those guys on last week. This would make that a week after they had already fired Terry. And they're like, I pulled up the website. I'm like, everybody's still working there? Oh, look, it's Terry. Terry's still working. Yep, Terry still works here. That's totally what they said. Oh, I guess I could be highlighting these comments, right? 2 weeks after launch, I got the termination. March, he signed up in March, and Sandstorm is saying they owe all the holders liquidity and they owe people they fired money. Dude, that's BS, right? Like, if they owe that guy money, they need to pay him. They need to pay him whatever he was supposed to be paid from the time of his contract to the time he worked. I mean, Terry could even have an argument that, like he said, they breached the contract. Whatever his contract was for, are they indeed contractually obligated to pay out his entire contract? Like, when they finally do get liquidity, if they get liquidity, when they finally do get liquidity, like, that might be a bargaining chip. You know, okay, well, I was contracted to work for 2 years. Pay me for 1 and I'll leave, right? Like, how do you play that one, Terry? How are you going to play that one? Maddie B says, yes, but Queen, you did ask them about why Token Sniffer said honeypot and no liquidity. Yeah, right. They said it was like a thing that they were going to have to reach out because somebody sent me a thing saying run them through Token Sniffer. So, like, while they were talking, we quickly did it. And I was like, yeah, it's saying it's thing. Oh, that's, we're going to have to get in touch with them. They were like straight up saying it was a mistake on their part. This is officially a honeypot due to people that have no idea what they were doing. That guy says, I'll post all the text messages and the contract. I'm sure they will sue me, but I don't care. Well, protect yourself, right? We don't want you to get in trouble. Because, listen, no one's going to not believe you over them. That's just the way it is. Sandstorm's like, send them to me. Send them to me. No, like, that's not cool. Like, if they owe somebody money, they owe them. They have to pay him. They're not sure why you scam people no money. They won't sue you, LOL. They scam people no money. Racket Club. I knew this project was trash from the start. Legendary says, don't miss M87. Oh, yeah. You know what? I have been seeing a lot of tweets about that M87 on Twitter, but I don't really know about it. Hey, can you go after them? But as holders are out, we take. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Like, as soon as, and Sandstorm said this, as soon as they get liquidity starting to be injected in there, people are going to drain that shit. They're going to be like, oh, they got liquidity, sell. Uniswap, people are going to be all over Uniswap. Sell, 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 sell. He can go after them, but his holders, oh, I already read that. Caleb, M87 is most bullish project out. M? You need to check out the utility in the chart. Khalid has been flirting with me all night. Sex, yep. Okay, thank you, Khalid. Appreciate ya. So I guess Terry left. Listen. That's not right. If in fact, now here I'm thinking like maybe they ran through all their money by paying this whole team or whatever. They haven't paid him anything. And he's been there since before the launch. And we know that they've now been launched for over a month. I think he sent out that March. He said March. He signed with them in March. So March, April, May, June, like it's over 3 months. And they haven't paid him. Damn, that's stone cold not cool. That's not cool, y'all. Oh, here. They got 130 ETH. They put 71 in liquidity. Where's the rest? That's a lot of ETH. That's, hey, that's 50 grand, right? That's 60 grand. That's 60 grand. It's 60 grand now. But when they got the pre-sale money, don't forget Ethereum was significantly more than what it is right now. So what would be 60 grand right now was double, maybe more than that. So yeah, where is it? Oh, Sandstorm saying 65 ETH actually. I know that they were looking for some ridiculous amount for the pre-sale. They're like, hey, we're looking to raise this amount. And I know that they came nowhere near close to raising that amount because I think it was like the most anybody had ever asked to raise in a pre-sale, and they just got blown away. So, oh my gosh. Somebody's here from Komainu. What's up? Komainu is in the house. Yes, I do love Komainu, although it's, struggling right now, but it's definitely a cool community token. Yeah, so we should all raid Twitter and we should tell Pixel they gotta pay Terry. They gotta pay that guy. We should all raid Twitter right now and be like, pay that guy. Pay that guy. Hashtag no new projects for me until they prove themselves with some token mega gains. I got rug pulled for 150 from Tsuzuki Inu and didn't want that again. 150 meaning 150 bucks or 150K, because I know some people, their token value when that Tsuzuki Inu rug pulled, people had like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of Tsuzuki Inu. Like Faltron, I think Faltron said he had one of the biggest wallets and he had like $700,000 worth of Tsuzuki Inu, and they blacklisted his wallet. That's one of the things about, you think, okay, sometimes blacklisting is a good idea because if it gets hacked, then you could just blacklist that person's wallet. But then, the people get drunk crazy, like the developer from ShipToro. He blacklisted everybody that transferred tokens out of Hotbit. And people are saying it was actually him. I heard that people said it was him that did a lot of arbitrage. So that's, it's one of those things that who the hell you believe? So Sandstorm saying he's, confirming a lot of the story of what's going on. That guy says, yes, I got some free AMAs. The rest they paid for. After that, they got pre-sale funds. Racket Club says, where's Tangi? Tangi was in the AMA on Telegram. She did give the intro. She kind of, like, her job is, right, she's the marketing person, and she talked up the project and thinking in long-term plans, and basically she's like, stick with us. This is what she said. Okay, if you didn't hear it, she's like, stick with us, don't sell, and we're going to pay you in the future. We don't have money now, but we're going to show you love in the future. But people want their money now. Like, people are hurting now. They didn't pay Terry this whole time that he signed. Since March, he hasn't been paid. So who got paid if they collected a certain amount in pre-sale? Let's say I think Sandstorm said they collected 65 Ethereum. They paid for a few AMAs. They didn't pay for an AMA with me. I did it for free because of Tangi and everybody. And to just hear, because you know what? I didn't really know that much about the project. I invested into it because of Tangi, really. I was like, okay, she's on the project, so I trust her. So it's got to be a legitimate project. And listen, I'm not saying they don't have legitimate intentions for the project. It sounds like they're working hard. It's going to take a very long time to get that utility up and running. They should have planned for that. Now, maybe they went out and bought a new car. Maybe they're like, okay, yeah, we're getting paid this much. We might as well skim off a little utility for ourselves right off the top and live the good life a little bit. We've already been working so hard. We're going to reward ourselves. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe that's what happened. And maybe they just didn't understand the wrath of a bear market. Like maybe they thought people were going to hold the token. But one of the big reasons why people get into pre-sales is to immediately take profits at launch. That's one of the big reasons why I get into pre-sales. If I have the opportunity to get in the pre-sale, I get into the pre-sale and then I take profits right after launch, and then I keep the rest for a moon bag. That's the way it's supposed to be. Like, that's why we're here, right? To make money. That's how you're supposed to do it. But damn, this thing, where'd the money go? Hashtag, where's our money at? Where the money at? That should be the new thing. So, yeah, we just don't know. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Asher, what's up? So everybody, okay, now the chat is in love with Komainu. We know. Hold on. My comments got messed up and I'm trying to backpedal now. The point to drive home on Pixel is this. They need to inject liquidity ASAP. And they need to fix the tax structure to replenish liquidity automatically. And oh, it's just another meme coin. Yeah, so that was one of the things that, Tanji was definitely trying to drive home. Like, this is not a meme coin. We're not Saitama. We're not Shibtoro. We're an actual cryptocurrency is what she was saying. Sandstrom disagrees. They do. So that's not cool. If people want to sell their tokens, they should be able to sell their tokens 100%. They need to be able to sell their tokens. That's it. Like, where is the money? Where did it go? Who drained it? Who took it? Did they get hacked? It's like if this many people put into the pre-sale that certain amount of liquidity was locked and people are buying the tokens, so they're paying for the tokens. Where'd the money go? How many people sold? Because I mean, if you look at the chart, like the chart didn't take a huge nosedive. I wonder when was the first time that somebody went to go sell tokens and they were just getting the, denied symbol. There's a liquidity problem symbol. I wonder when it was, because I do have to say there is somebody now that's in the chat. Is it that way? I can't remember. They sent me a message on Twitter and they're like, hey, I know you did an AMA with the people from Pixel and I just want to let you know I can't sell the token. And I was like, oh, you can't sell? And he sent me like this thing talking about liquidity. I've gotten a message like that before. And I was thinking it was like on my end. I'm like, oh, well, maybe I just didn't have enough Ethereum to do like the gas. And like, maybe I'll wait till gas gets cheaper. But no, it was freaking Pixel's liquidity pool. Because they're like, listen, liquidity is locked for 6 months. That's what they came on and told me. I didn't know they only had 2 cents locked up, because when you look on the when you look at Pixel on the left-hand side of freaking Dex tools, it tells you how much liquidity is there. And when you look at this, let me share the screen. StreamYard, you used to be able to bounce between screen and screen and screen. You can't do that anymore. You have to hit stop share screen, then go back to share screen again. It's a pain in the ass. I don't know if it's because I didn't update some kind of BS on my window. Okay, so let me do this. Let me make this real big. Hold on a second. Yeah, they're like going to have to take off like a second mortgage or something on their house. Like, I'm sorry, but like if people need to sell their tokens, they need to sell. So look at what it says over here. It says liquidity, $630,000. Like, why does it say that? Man, Dex Tools just sucks anymore. You know, we really need some clarity in crypto. We need a platform out there that's going to be truthful with us, that's going to give us accurate information so that when we're, looking at these different investments, we can get some actual freaking information. We don't want to have to deal with this nonsense over here. That guy COO. Oh, that's what Tangi's a COO, right? Talk about XRP? No, this is a rant. Come on. Khalid, read the room. This is about Pixel. Next time. Asher, Coma is the new SHIB. Coma. We got the Coma people in the house, man. The people love Coma. Add to that, Terry should be paid for what he did as well as compensated for being fired irrationally. Yeah, like why did they fire you, Terry? Did they fire you because they didn't have money to pay you? Or did you say something publicly that they didn't like? Like what was there? Because like I said, Terry, they were here last week talking about you still work there. And everybody that was on my AMA knows it, right, Maddie? Maddie knows it. I think Maddie just kicked somebody out of the room. My comments all of a sudden got crazy again. Hold on. I'm trying to catch up to the thing here. Sandstorm said this literally isn't rocket science, but they still can't figure it out. Like they think, Terry, I don't know if you listened to it, but Sandstorm was asking questions. Hung seemed receptive. He was like, okay, yeah, actually, that might be an option to change up the tax structure a little bit to get some stuff pumped into liquidity there. That was a great idea. It sounded like all of a sudden Andrew gets on. You could hear the tension in his voice. We are not changing the tax structure. And I was like, oh boy. And that was crazy. They need their marketplace up and staking to produce funds, and they don't have nothing done. They had a dream of POS system and no real product. DME. So, did they? Oh, I text Drew. He ignored me. I said, you're in breach of contract. He ignored me. The next day, I got a termination contract. Damn. Yeah, so he didn't work for free, though, Chill Daddy, because what he said was he was under contract with them, and who knows? They might have said to him, we're going to start paying you after launch, probably, because they were probably thinking, okay, the market is shit, but we're going to launch. People always buy into launches. They just probably had zero anticipation of what this market was actually going to be like. And again, I'll bring up the fact that when they started their pre-sale, Ethereum was significantly more expensive, and now it's in the gutter. I almost said a bad word. Much love, Komainu. That's right. Oh, the Koma guy's here. Oh, so yeah, that's 2 weeks after launch, the 27th. Listen, it's not right, Terry. They should have definitely paid you. They owe Terry money. That's not cool that they brought in 65 Ethereum for their pre-sale. Terry's out there getting them free AMAs. Like, let's say Terry got them 5 free AMAs. It was probably more than that, but let's say Terry got them 5 free AMAs. Like, to do an AMA on some of these different channels, some of the bigger channels, they could be like $2,000 to get on. Well, a medium channel. Like on the big channels, they're way freaking more. They're a lot more money. But like on a medium channel, I know one particular person I think charges like $2,000. I don't want to dox anybody. Charges like $2,000. Somebody else charges like a couple B&B. Like everybody's got their structure. Like if he just scraped together just a couple AMAs for them to get on for free, like he saved them a shit ton of money, and they definitely should pay him for that at least. Although they definitely need to pay him for his contract. Terry, how long were you contracted for? Oh, they definitely did get 100 Ethereum in the whitelist. Damn. What did they do with the money? So let's say, okay, well, we know that. Let's go on today's prices, okay? Because even if they did collect $300,000 and it was just an Ethereum, unless they sold, like, can you imagine if they took the Ethereum and freaking stablecoined that shit until the launch? They would have so much extra money right now, right? But let's just say they weren't smart enough to do that. They would have so much extra money. But still, even at today's price, $1,000. So then they had freaking $100,000. What did they do with it? If they weren't paying anybody, like what did they do with it? Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that they've got to make this right for the investors. Like Sandstorm says, the bottom line is they do need some way to inject liquidity in there. I don't think it's cool to say, hey, listen, we're working on our NFT marketplace and then we're going to do merch as well. And that is going to generate a stream of income. And then we're going to start putting that into liquidity. Like nothing when it opens is really going to generate any sort of income on day one or even week one. Some businesses, it takes a year for them to be up and running before they even realize any kind of profit. What makes them think that the NFT platform and merchandise is going to solve their liquidity issue? They're going to need to come out of pocket. Like, is there a way that someone can get like a general accounting of what they did with the Ethereum? Like where, or are they just basically saying that the liquidity was there, but it got drained? Not cool. Either way, they're going to have to, maybe they're going to have to mortgage their houses. Maybe they're going to have to sell whatever cryptocurrency they do have in their wallets just so people can get out of this. It is never a good thing. And it's a bad look for cryptocurrency. What are we doing here? We want this to be majorly adopted by the rest of our countrymen and the world. We want everybody into crypto because this is the way, right? But when you have these projects that do some shady shit like this is going to scare people away. All of these, well, not even DeFi. Look at freaking Celsius. They're a centralized platform and they went belly up. It's like you can't even trust anybody. You can't even trust if you can't trust Celsius, who can you trust? Way better. He's the guy that was like, I can't sell my tokens. EI, bring this matter over Twitter to you. EI, bring this matter over Twitter to you and Rodney, my crypto journey. You were the only one to take care. I really appreciate you listening to my pain. Oh, I'm the only one that responded to you. Liz, it's sometimes, like people that are bigger YouTubers like Rodney, he probably has like freaking a couple hundred people sending him messages a day. So don't take it personally if he didn't get back to you. But I have less people to look after. So it was my, my pleasure. Although I wasn't really much help. All I did was reach out to them and be like, hey, did you answer this guy? He's saying he can't sell his tokens. What's up with that? And they still didn't say anything. They're like, yeah, we got in touch with him. And then, the way better was like, yeah, I still can't sell my tokens. I'm like, that's still not fixed. And then I saw the message on Twitter saying, we're going to do an AMA to address the liquidity issues. I'm like, damn, they're out of money. Jeez. So, I mean, that totally sucks. I'm sorry. Anybody who can't sell your tokens, that's ridiculous. The problem is Uniswap and all these launch pads. Well, so are you, Chill Daddy, are you thinking Uniswap should be a little more selective as to who they let on Uniswap? Are you saying that they should do an audit of that token to make sure it's legitimate before they launch it? I mean, that would save a lot of people, right? So a lot of people that are launching these BS tokens anywhere, they're starting them over on BSC just because it's easier for people and more affordable for people to go over there and buy. But listen, if Uniswap did that, stop it. Be a good boy. Leave him. Stop. You're okay, honey. Come on. If Uniswap did do that, I think that would be really great. Oh, I think that would be really great if there was some function where they could do that to protect us as holders, right? Hey, we're going to make sure, or at minimum, the devs have to be KYC'd. That would solve a lot of issues, actually. Yep, that would be a great thing to do, great thing to have, because that would save a lot of issues. I mean, how many people get rugged and stuff, right? Like it's crazy. So yeah, I mean, I've been on for over an hour here, and believe it or not, they only did that AMA for like what seemed to be like 20 minutes, like not long at all. Sandstorm said he wanted to ask more questions. He had his hand up. They did take him, but when Andrew didn't care for really what he was saying, he said they muted him. Like he wanted to continue on with the discussion because he did raise a valid point. He had a great suggestion for them in changing up the tax structure. I wonder why Andrew just didn't want to hear it, right? Like he pretty much dug in his heels and he's like, no, we are not changing the tax structure. So 0% buy and sell tax for Pixel. I mean, 0% buy because you can't really sell it. So that's, that's a different story. Shit, man, I can make AskCoin and reach out to all of the influencers and pay everyone $2K and I'll bail out on launch. Well, that's not true because not everybody would take it, right? Like the majority of AMAs I do for free, right? So there are people like Sandstorm, he looks at stuff before he allow somebody onto his platform. He just doesn't take any old. I mean, there are influencers that would just do it for, because they're saying, hey, I'm not telling you to invest with this. I'm just letting you know about this token. And this person's coming on to talk about their token. But you're so right. Like it would be awesome if Uniswap did that. 0%. So then their fun is not being able to sell. Yeah, it's crazy, right? It's absolutely crazy. So what did they do with all that money? If they didn't pay people, could it be that whatever liquidity they had, people just pulled out by selling it? Like, could that be it? I mean, because the strange thing is this. Someone reached out to me on Twitter the day of the launch because I was covering the launch live on my channel. And somebody reached out to me and they're like, dude, look at all these cells. I remember the little red robot. Sometimes that little red robot means liquidity is low. They had a lot of buys going in, 13 Ether, but then they had some big ones, some big sells. And somebody actually reached out to me because I was covering the launch and they're like, look at all of those sells. And why isn't the price coming down? Like it should be with these amount of sells, that price should have been dropping precipitously. But in my mind, I'm thinking, well, it's because they have this large liquidity pool. Because again, looking back over here on the left-hand side of Dex Tools, it's saying that their liquidity is $630,000 and then it's locked up. That's what freaking Dex Tool says. And I'm like, well, yeah, it doesn't matter if all these sells are happening because they have all that liquidity. So of course it's going to hold the floor. Oh my gosh, I mean, people got the hell out of there, right? Like let's look at some of these cells and see if they got into the pre-sell and just banked out. Let's look at the first big one. So the first big sell was this almost 5 ether. Oh, can you see this on? See, this is a pain in the butt. Hold on a second. ERC 20 tokens. No, forget it. You can't even look at that one because they must be a day trader. I can only see the past 20 transactions, and they've already done 20 transactions in the past couple days. So this person is somebody that gets in at launch, waits like a second, and then bails out, basically, is the situation. So, oh, well, Terry's yelling. Hold on a second. Who's Terry yelling at? Oh. Okay, Tangi just bounced in and said, hello, I am chiming in. I have not been paid a salary at all. Please do not lie on me. I mean, I didn't say you got paid, Tangi. I said I didn't know who got paid. I did say I wondered what they did with the money, though. And then I said I looked at the chart and I was thinking maybe just people sold and got out of there. But I didn't say you got paid. Hey, Tangi. So when I had them on the channel last week for an AMA, I specifically asked them very specific questions. One of them was because Terry's face was on the website. I'm like, oh, are all these people still working there? And they're like, yep, everybody's still there. And that was just last week. And Terry said he got let go like 2 weeks ago. Also, I don't know if you listened to the AMA, Tangi, but somebody brought up the fact that if you run their token through Token Sniffer, it actually comes up as a honeypot. So I go to them. I was like, oh, your token, maybe one of the reasons that you have like no daily volume is the fact that if you run the contract address through Token Sniffer, it actually shows up as a honeypot. And they're like, that's news to us. There's liquidity there. We don't know why it would be coming up as a honeypot. So either they, one, had no clue they were out of liquidity, or they were just kind of tap dancing around the situation. So I don't know. But way better, this person right here let me know a couple days ago through Twitter. They're like, I can't sell my tokens. There's no liquidity. And I was like, what? Way better says, I'm going to sell my Pixel, even do my gas fees, surpass my profit. Oh, man. Oh, Terry says they let him go when he asked for his money. And I mean, really, they should have paid him his money. Like, I think we can all agree that Tangi, they really should have paid him. If he's been working for them since March, I mean, Tangi, you should be getting paid, right? Like you definitely should be getting paid. So it's, unless you have a deal with them where maybe down the line you get paid, because I know that you believe in the token and you believe in where it's going and the vision. And that's one of the reasons that I invested into Pixel, because you were with them and I trust you. So I invested into them, and like, I haven't sold. Like, I'm going to hold, I'll wait the couple years or whatever it's going to be, because I have a long-term view on certain projects. I could be wrong, but I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and see. But listen, we all get into stuff that, we don't know. We just don't know what's going to happen in the future with particular projects. But it's getting heated in here with Terry and Tangi, which because these guys are friends, it stinks that this happens in the market because something goes bad with a project, and then you have friends that argue, right? Like kind of like what happened with me and who. So Terry's definitely saying it's a breach of contract. Tangi's saying she's going to leave. Okay. Okay. Tangi says, I understand, Tammy, but our contract doesn't call for us to get paid until we make the money and take care of expenses. Okay. So I don't know anything about the contracts. Let me just put it out there. I don't know any of the language of the contract or anything. So, now I wouldn't mind looking at the contract, but if that's what your contract says, Tangi, then I'll believe you. If that's what it says, that's what it says. But Terry says, just a little back and forth here. Contract states 2 weeks after launch, bi-weekly payments, and 1 month after launch tokens. Maddie's saying they need to pay that guy. They need to pay that guy. And then Tangi said, I guess I'm just cut differently. I believe in the project, and I really hope that it goes well. Right? Like, I really hope it goes well too, because my money's in there. And another thing, like I said earlier, when we bought into the pre-sale, Ether was way more expensive, right? Like a lot more. It was like probably nearly $3,000. So now they launched the project and Ether is at $1,000. So it's, Terry says this project is an effing dream. No actual product. Maddie says, in Rust we trust. So this is what's sad about cryptocurrency, right? Like, it's now Terry and Tangi are fighting. Like, it sucks, right? Like, I wish that this didn't have to happen. Money breaks up friendships, guys. Like, I've seen it happen in families, and I've seen it happen in friends. Like, stuff goes sideways with money, and that's it. But if they told him they were going to pay him, then they need to pay him. If that's what if his contract is like, hey, this is what your deal is, they definitely need to pay him. I mean, I don't know how they're going to pay him because there's no liquidity in the project, but could it be that all of the liquidity got drained because everybody just sold? People that got in just sold and got the heck out of there. Sandstorm, hey, that guy, I'll send you a custom t-shirt free. It will say Pixul is a meme token. Oh boy, this shirt was gay. And Tangi, I wish you well. Tangi's going to run. She's saying, okay, I've got to run again. I really wish everyone well. Really, I do. Take care. And Tangi, of course, as always, I always wish you well. And listen, I don't, you work for these developers. I don't hold anyone but developers accountable for the project, right? Like those two main dudes, Andrew and Hung. It's their show, right? Like I don't hold anyone accountable except for those guys, but they need to pay Terry, Tangi. They need to pay him, right? They need to pay him. That's just the way it goes. They need to pay him. Oh, he's saying Tangi said she was going to get me paid more because I brought the project to light. Can I have a flint? Oh. Not that way, Tammy. About what? About, the contract? Oh man, like this is bad. Like this is Yeah, isn't Maddie funny? Oh, this just stinks. Oh, here we go. Hung has our conversation recorded, so he knows he owes me money. Yeah. Pay the man. Maddie really wants that guy to get paid. Like, Maddie's on a mission. He wants him to be paid. Daniel Lyon says, but Brad's shirts are really manly and stuff. I was told there's a flamboyant shirts anybody's. So I have a shirt that Brad made, and it's got the it's got the hospital wise. Oh, is it the hospital wise? Who the fuck is Joe? I wear it as a nightgown. It's very attractive. Who the fuck is Joe? That was hilarious. Oh yeah, so this is the story here. This is why there's no friends in crypto, not really, because stuff goes sideways. And look, Tangie's a nice person. I've always gotten along with her. She's always been pleasant to me. I've always had fun talking to her. She's one of those people that she's very positive. She has like this force field of positivity around her, and I like that about her, right? I like that about Tangie. She's always been okay with me. Always friendly, and I've enjoyed her. But when money gets dialed into a situation, people do get personal, right? And that's, not that I'm not holding her accountable. I don't know what her position is over there. When it comes to that team, it's Andrew and Hung. They're the ones that are in charge. Like, it's their thing, right? They created it. I don't think Tangie dreamed up Pixel, right? You can tell that she still believes in this project. She still believes in the long-term vision of Pixel. So, everybody's hot under the collar right now because you can't sell the tokens. So everybody's hot under the collar, but hopefully they'll somehow be able to get some liquidity into the liquidity pool, and they'll be able to sell it. Bobby Joe says, I missed it. You should be glad you missed that one because it's unsellable. They blocked and booted me from the Telegram when I brought it out. Oh, okay. Yeah. They do that, right? Like, I've been booted from many, many Telegram spaces. Many. That guy not getting paid, but he got a $10 shirt as a remembrance to a rug pull. This is a project called Pixel, and I had them on my channel last week for an AMA, and seemed like all was well, but they did tell a couple of untruths during the AMA. Number one, and mainly most important, was the fact that I was like, hey, your token's coming up as a honeypot on Token Sniffer. And they're like, oh, we're going to have to get in touch with them because we're going to have to they're misreading the contract. I think that's what they said. And I was like, yeah, that's, because maybe that's why nobody's buying your token, because they look under Token Sniffer and they're like, oh, damn, this is a honeypot. Pass. No, thank you. So, but no, apparently the liquidity is gone out of the project. But when you look on Dex Tools, like I was during the AMA, it says there's $680,000 locked in liquidity. This is why we need something better than Dex Tools. We need a platform that is going to be able to show us the true values of what these projects have in lock liquidity. Like, this is, there's a project right now that's working on a platform that's going to be way better than Dex Tools. It's going to have all of the information that you want to know about a project. It'll let you know if the devs are KYC'd or not, definitely if the liquidity is locked, if there's liquidity there. It's not going to be this guessing game like you have with Dex Tools. There's nothing ever accurate, I feel, on Dex Tools. You can never get the holder count right. The price is not always right. Like, it's one of those things. Texas Tornadoes in the house. Welcome. That guy, how much do they owe you, Daniel Lyons? And are you willing to part with the t-shirt for a price? You guys are hilarious. Hilarious. That guy, very upset. Oh, okay. He's calling Tangi a scam artist. She's a scam artist. She used me to get to influencers, and she tried to bypass me to get to them on her weird ass serious show that's a non-successful. All my buddies ask me, why is she asking them? I just called a liar on live. I went to live, prove a point, and the guy apologized to me. LOL. Good for you. Boom. Isn't that nice? Call a liar to their face. Telling stories on me. I got promised Sirius XM as well. We no longer talk. Just got called a liar on Frankie Candle's stream, and I went live to prove a point. LOL. I don't know Frankie Candles. No liquidity. Hashtag no liquidity. Hashtag pay that guy. No, they really do need to pay Terry. She uses that Sirius XM promise to get Twitter followers, I guess. I don't know. But she does work for Sirius XM, though, right? They used Uniswap V3, so it appears there's liquidity. V2 wouldn't allow it. Oh. Yeah, I saw that on your stream today, Bobby Joe, that Charles is looking for those community members to become coders for the projects, for the forking of the I can't remember what the name of it is now. Crypto Queen platforms like Dexol show twice the dollar value for liquidity since they include the price of the tokens locked in the contract. But still, then that would mean, because it's showing like 600, hold on a second, $630,000 when they have nothing in liquidity. Like, where do you go to get the true liquidity number? Like, well, I guess, where did they do the white sale? Is it on Pink Sale? I can't remember where I sent the money. It's probably locked there, right? So if Daniel, that's true, then it would mean that they would still have $315,000 in liquidity, but they don't. So I don't know what the right answer is. Okay, that guy is saying 650,000 token and 35 cash was to be paid to me. Oh. Was that for, Terry, was that for like a year contract? How long was your contract for? So dang, they were supposed to send him 650,000 tokens. They need to pay him. I mean, listen, if he wound up, did you get them any AMAs for free? Because if people did AMAs for free because of you, they need to at least pay for that. Yeah, that's I mean, they really need to pay Terry. That stinks. Like that sucks. Now let me look at Team Finance, because I looked in Unicrypt and they didn't have anything locked in Unicrypt. But I remember that they may have done it on maybe they did it on Pulo. I don't know. I don't remember where they did it from. Oh, look he's already signed up. Yeah, Bobby Joe loves Charles Hoskinson. it said 3 to 4 months. So his contract was for 3 to 4 months. He was supposed to get 650,000 tokens along with $35,000 in cash. So, I mean, they really need to, number one, they really should pay him his contract. They shouldn't have fired him because he asked a question. Like, he asked a question about something. They fired him and they banned him from Telegram so that he wouldn't be able to see anything that's going on in Telegram. Like, that's not cool. Right? I never would have suspected that. Like, I never would have. Like, sometimes you hear that people give you tokens for stuff, but I would expect people to get paid. If they had raised that amount of ether, there's no reason why these people shouldn't have been paid. I was thinking the liquidity left because they did pay everybody. I mean, that would be one reason why the liquidity is gone, because they have this big whole team and they're paying everybody. And it's easy to burn through money when you have paychecks to hand out every other week or every week, however you pay them out. But if you're not paying anybody, where is the money? Where did it go? Who took it? Who knows where it is? Where the hell is it? Like, we need somebody who's a freaking forensic accountant to get in there and just dig around and look and see what's going where. Find out where the hell it is. I'm going to go on Etherscan right now, but that's not going to tell us much because it's the pre-sale. They just put holders, into the deployer wallet. Snap liquidity pools. See, I thought when they put it in here, they had to have it pooled with Ether. So they made 3 separate deposits. And it's for $250 million tokens is the snap liquidity. Doesn't that have to be matched with Ether? And what is the price right now? Oh, hold on a second. I need to grab a calculator. Hold on. Oh. I mean, I thought that's how it was supposed to be. Yeah, that sucks. No, they need to pay him. I mean, I don't know how they're going to pay you since they don't have any freaking money, but they need to, like Sandstorm said, they should have really, when they saw how much money they had raised for the pre-sale, if they knew they didn't have that much, they should have, it's all about adjusting and pivoting and working with the situation that you have, especially in this bear market. There is nothing wrong with pivoting. Nothing wrong with changing things up as long as you notify the community and say, hey, guess what? I know we said what we said, but we got to change a couple things or else the project's not going to work. If you want your investment to work out, we need to change. People appreciate honesty. So let's see. So there's 232,500,000. I don't understand how they get away with this, because I thought in the liquidity pools that they have to match Ether with the tokens. Isn't that what the pool is for? Because where it says now, I mean, Dex Tools is right. It's over 160,000 at the current price where it is now. Oh, okay, hold on. Let me look at the launch price. Hold on. Maybe they just did it from launch. So hold on a second. So it was 200 and I'm not reading anything right now. So if something's juicy, I'll have to get to that in a minute. So let me see what the price at launch was. price at launch was, hold on a second, 0.003 point, oh wait, times 0.0033. Still, that's 760 something thousand. I mean, it's not making, how did they not let them do that, right? Did they pay me? You know they didn't pay me. They're not paying Terry. They're definitely not going to pay me. Okay, hold on a second. Scammy. Hold on a second. That guy, Tangi, said they didn't want you on an AMA because you were friends with Sandstorm. Don't let her fool you. She's a snake. Are you talking to me? Hold on a second. I got to back up. Hold on a second. I don't care at this point. I'm not with the project. They said they terminated me within 90 days, but it was after the 90 days. Damn this camera. Now I really need a cigarette. Help me. Tangi said she didn't want you on an AMA because you were friends with Sandstorm. Don't let her fool you. She's a snake. She's a liar for real. Did they pay me? No. Nope. Whenever I do get paid for something, I'm like, hey guys, just to let you know, I got compensated for this. But no, I think I even said I'm not being compensated for this video at the beginning. What's up, JP Matthews in the house? We have JP, the developer of Archie Nico Token. Great project. Yeah, that's this. So JP, right? That's what I thought. The number of tokens with the ether should be the value, but they have their liquidity pool's dry. They got no liquidity. They didn't pay that guy. They owe that guy money. Tokens, which is worthless. Well, not worthless, but there's no liquidity. So basically, I mean, even though there is value on it, I mean, people can't pull their liquidity. So let's, I don't know how. I don't know. They hid the details from me. I know nothing about the project because it's non-existent. You can have the shirt. I can find it. Yes, she said that about me. She said that about me? I wonder why. Man, Sandstorm, you get me into a lot of trouble because I like your tweets. Because we're friends. We get into so much trouble. They were spending the whitelist ETH for AMAs. You got screwed. Well, that's okay. That's normally my MO. I usually do AMAs for free, and then people get mad at me because of AMA. Like, it's crazy. Like, I can never make anybody happy. That's okay. Not about me. Maddie, it is bear season. LOL. If I see any bears, I'll stream it usually. Cannot believe she brought about getting him t-shirt when they owe him. Oh. Did somebody tell that guy they're going to send him a t-shirt instead of getting paid? No. She said that about that guy. Guys, it's like almost 2 hours, and I can't believe this has happened. Man, well, hey, this has been enlightening about a lot because I consider, look, I considered Tangi my friend. I mean, if Terry's going to tell me she's talking shit about me behind my back, I mean, would make sense why I don't like really hear from her that much, but I thought it was because of a misunderstanding that happened, not even so much with me, but I always get, somehow I'm always in the middle of stuff. I don't know how I get there. I just do. But man, maybe she thought I was going to try, because I'm friends with Sandstorm. Maybe she thought I was going to try to ambush them somehow, some way. Maybe she felt like it wasn't friendly territory. Maybe that could be why. I don't know. It's crazy though. But yeah, so listen, guys, that's, no matter if you're an investor as of right now, you can't sell the tokens because there's no liquidity into Pixel. So you're just going to have to wait until they put liquidity in the liquidity pool. They're talking about, this is what they said. I'm just doing a little wrap up from the AMA that was on Telegram earlier, that coming in a few weeks, they're going to launch that. Or was it the end of July? Or maybe it was August. They're going to launch their NFT marketplace and their merchandise store. Any of the monies that come from that platform and the merchandise store, they're going to put that into the liquidity pool. But I'm trying to think, like, how much money can they really make off the NFT platform? Like, they've got to start churning money right away. I'm thinking they need to, like, mortgage their houses to make good on this liquidity. I don't think that they anticipated the amount of sell pressure that would be going on because of the market. And don't forget, when we invested, I keep saying it, but for people that just popped in, when we invested into the pre-sale, Ether was like almost 3,000 in Ether. You know, so if you put in 1 Ether, you essentially bought $3,000 worth. But by the time they launched, Ether was like 900, maybe 1,000. So you're automatically, you lost 2/3 of your investment as soon as it launched. So that's, and the pre-sale went freaking on and on and on. Like, it was the longest pre-sale I was ever involved in. And they tried to raise some astronomical amount. And we all knew they weren't going to raise that much. That guy says, just don't speak ill of me again, LMAO, without knowing the truth. You coup in my book, Tammy. I try to be cool in everybody's book. We could go to the mall and have lunch and walk around. I don't know who this is. Who's texting me? I don't know who that is. Oh, it's my nephew. It's his birthday. He's a little sweetheart. You're cool with me, Terry. Your wife too. Like, I like to get along because I'm older. I like to get along with everybody. You know, I don't like to not be friends with people. I'm old enough where, you know, I've seen friends pass away. You have regrets in life. We've lost family members prematurely, very young. And it's like, man, life is so short. You really can't get angry. This is like stuff like happens to me. I'm like, it's not as bad as when that happened. You know, that's how I think about things. But freak, Maddie wants that guy to get paid big time. They're going to try to sue me for the liquidity. Elbow cough, elbow cough. That's fun. Listen, no matter what happens, they need to pay Terry. If they said that they were going to pay him and he wound up getting them AMAs for free and he marketed them, like, for sure, like they need to pay him. I mean, that's not. I'm thinking like, oh my God, maybe that's where all the liquidity went. They paid everybody, but they didn't pay anybody. Tangi said she didn't get paid yet either. So I would like to know where the liquidity went. It would be nice if maybe if they go on another AMA, if somebody can be there, I don't know, maybe like somebody from here, because they probably will never call on any of the influencers ever again, being that they called on Sandstorm and Sandstorm did that. So one of you guys, the viewers, be like, hey, what'd you do with the liquidity? Like, where did it all go? All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it for me. And I will catch you next time. I'm dying for a smoke. Everybody, thank you so much for joining me. I wish everybody the best luck. Terry, man, I hope you get some dough out of those MFers. I really do. Uncool. It's not cool that they didn't pay you. Not cool. All right, guys. Well, that's going to do it from here for me tonight. Take care. Bye-bye.